What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So, I want to pose the question to you all. Is Deion Sanders public enemy number one in the college football landscape? When I say the college football landscape, I'm really talking about the FBS football division, right? The bowl division, where, the Power 5 conferences are. Since making the move from FCS at Jackson State, a historically black college and university, and moving to Colorado, right? Colorado University, the FBS school, the PWI Power 5 school. Deion Sanders has been really disrupting the college football atmosphere and has rubbed a lot of the old guard the wrong way. At first, when Deion Sanders first left Jackson State, and a lot of people within the black community were critical, including myself, I wasn't critical of him leaving the institution. I didn't like several things that he did on the way out, right? I didn't like how he conducted himself on certain platforms on his way out. I didn't like how he handled certain situations, and I stand by that firmly, right? I don't take any of that I said back. However, I never said I wanted him to fail. I wanted him to succeed. I wanted to see Shedeur really do well and succeed. I really wanted him to do well because I really believed in that young man's abilities. I never saw him playing how he just played right the other day, though. I never saw that coming. I thought Shedeur maybe could have a 300-something yard game, not 500-something yards, right? And so now that Shedeur balled out of his mind, he's backed up Deion's his token, right? See, this is the problem. People, and a lot of people were saying, oh, the black folks didn't appreciate him. This came from a lot of people within the black community and a lot of people within the white community, right? With a lot of people within the FBS football rankings. We're saying, oh, they didn't appreciate them. Look at all what he done for Jackson State. Oh, look at how they're embracing him and welcoming him with open arms in Colorado. Look at how all of college football's landscape is just embracing Deion moving up. And look how the HBCU did him. Look how they mad at him. But look how all of college football ranks are embracing him. Now the tide is turning, okay? Right? Because HBCU football is still going on doing their thing. However, the people that were supposed to be welcoming Deion with open arms, I'm not talking about people in Colorado because they still loving him. And they loving him even more due to the fact that he helped them get that big major win over TCU. I understand they were 17th in the country, but last year they were the runner-ups in the national championship game, right? So since that happened, you got a lot of people scratching their head that are not Colorado fans. And before it all happened, people were looking at Deion shifty within the FBS ranks because, hold on, we got 50-something transfer players coming in, people coming in from the transfer portal. You got a lot of the old guard that scoff at that stick their nose in the air up at that, right? They feel like, who does this dude think he is? He using his celebrity ability to come bring all these different transfers in? How dare he? What is he trying to do? He trying to shift up stuff, and then they start talking about how these young kids, they make a commitment to a school, and they breaking on the commitment, and they're pissed off about it. And they're really pissed off about it in particular because you're going over there with Prime, where Deion Sanders at, right? And they looking like, hold on, is Deion Sanders using his clout and cachet as a Hall of Fame player to do that? Because Deion can relate to a lot of these young men in ways that a lot of the old guard can't. Now, Nick Saban can just say, hey, point to the championship rings, right? And say, look at all the players I got to the NFL. Speaks for itself, right? Not every other coach can do that. It's other coaches, at Georgia and stuff, they can do that too. But Deion he can contend with them due to the fact that, like, again, these players, their moms and their fathers and their grandmamas, their granddaddies, they grew up loving Prime, loving him, worshiping, admiring that man. Even people from non-black households all across America love Prime, whether you was white, black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever you want to say, right? Native, indigenous, whatever you want to say. People love Prime for sure, right? And so he has a leg up on people. He's on an equal playing field with them due to his celebrity, his star power. And some people don't like that. It's like, hold on, wait a minute now. Travis Hunter should have never been at Jackson State in the first place. He should have been at one of these other Power 5 schools. How dare Travis Hunter be at Colorado? He can be elsewhere. He's good enough to be at Alabama. He's good enough to be at LSU. He's good enough to be at Georgia, right? He's good enough to be at Ohio State, Michigan, all these prestigious programs, revered programs. How dare he go to Jackson State first, then to Colorado? Hold on, wait a minute. Then Deion pulling other players from the transfer portal that was coming from other schools. Now people scoffing at it. Wait a second. Let's be for real, man. These other college coaches, these other college coaches, they've been doing stuff like this for a long time. Now, the transfer portal is new. And there's other people that are operating within the transfer portal. But Deion Sanders is getting a side eye. Why? Because he's able to use his clout and cachet as a Hall of Fame player to pull certain guys that other coaches want to be at their institutions and within their football programs, right? Not only that, he has a certain swagger, bravado. He has a certain type of machismo, a certain type of charisma that is really, you cannot mimic that. You can't duplicate it at all. And a lot of people are turned off by the bravado, by the way he talks. You know, he got the D for dog on the thing, L for leader on the jerseys. Not a C for captain, L for leader, I think, and D for dogs on the jersey, right? And people are like, hold on. And then the way he talked with the brashness, coming up with catchphrases and slogans. Some people are like, hold on, why isn't he buttoned up like the other coaches all across the prestigious college programs, football programs in college football? Why isn't Deion buttoned up? Why does he have to be, you know, with a certain type of flair? He comes out with a flair with everything. Why does he have to be so, everything has to be so much pomp and circumstance? Why does everything have to be so loud and celebratory? You know, because one thing you could say in the SWAC, at the historically black colleges and universities, that type of bravado is welcomed. People love it. They smile at it. And if people don't like it, we just gonna at the black colleges, we just gonna talk shit back at you. We gonna talk cash back at you. We gonna talk crazy back at you. We ain't gonna sit around whining and complain about you talking trash and try to paint you as public enemy number one because you talking how you talking. It's just gonna be a thing that people are gonna be talking back and forth because black folks do flair. Flair is all within black folks' culture. Not every black person is full of flair and all that. We seen Tim Duncan. We seen my boy from Chicago, Derek Pouros. We seen the individuals who were stoic and even killed and all of that. But we seen a lot of people who are brash, who had a bravado, they had a flair and all of that. And that's what Deion Sanders brings. And a lot of people within the college football ranks, they don't like that because he's not like the other coaches. And him being not like the other coaches is allowing his program to thrive and bring in more players because he resonates with them, man. Deion Sanders' swagger, his charisma is familiar to the young black college athletes, and he's pulling them in. And even from the transfer portal, he getting players that come from other schools that come with him. And the old guard don't like that. They folding their arms up, mad, pissed off because they're like, "Who did this? Oh hell no!" Now it's a wish for. That's when I said the walls were going to close in on Deion. I said they were closing in at first, right? Deion pushed the walls out a little bit now with him getting his big time win. But I promise y'all, it's some people that cannot wait until Deion loses to say all this, no, we ain't believing nothing. You know, this whole thing was trash. We told y'all it was overrated. We told y'all it was overhyped, so on and so forth, right? They're waiting for that moment. You know, and he is public enemy number one because he's doing things in an unconventional way. He's not conventional at all, man. What's the word? Or is it orthodox or unorthodox? Unorthodox, right? It's an unorthodox way. Like, it's just not what everybody else does. And so people are looking at that and they feeling a way about it, man. But you gotta respect it when the dude go out there. Cause if you gonna talk cash, you know you gotta have your team prepared. You know you gotta have them boys equipped to go to war. And that's what he did. They had proper preparation, man. They did their due diligence within the practice, within practice, all of that, man, and made sure them boys were up to par to perform, right? And I'm telling y'all, their speed and athleticism they got is phenomenal. Reminds me of how Oregon used to be back some years ago, right? It reminds me they had all the speedsters, all them dudes in skill positions was crazy. And that's what he got going on in Colorado. But yeah, man, like he disrupting the college football atmosphere, man. Everybody usually just gets players on their own. Just, hey, look what I've done. Look at my resume. Come to me. Look at the players I got to the NFL. Prime is recruiting dudes with, hey, your mama, your daddy, and them see me. Okay? Your grandmama and them love me. I got the swagger, the bravado, the charisma that you relate to, that you see every day within your family. Black folks act like prime time in our families, man. They just ain't never played, football and Hall of Famers like prime. They played some football probably. They wasn't nowhere near prime level, but that charisma is recognizable. My uncle and them got the same type of flair. Both of my uncles do. My mama got flair like prime time. You hear me? This is all within my family. My grandmama got that same type of flair. My little cousin them coming with a fur jacket with the rings on his finger, man. That flair is recognizable to us, and so it's magnetic to a lot of young black kids. And a lot of the old guards saying, hey, wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. Who did this Deion Sanders think he is? Now, they were cool with him when he was out there playing in the football and playing in the NFL. You doing your thing, must be the money, you know what I mean, and all of that. When you was at Jackson State, they were a little cool with it. They didn't like him taking Travis Hunter, though, okay? They didn't like, I hope I didn't say Travis Henry in the video earlier. I hope I didn't. If I did, I'm sorry, Travis Hunter. They never liked him taking Travis Hunter with him, right? But they were okay with it. Now he moved up, and he's contending in their pool. He's pulling players from their pool. And he's able to do it not without having to have a winning resume at the big schools and getting all these players to the draft. He can do it with being himself. Right? Because they can relate to that, man. And then if you a DB, you going from one of the greatest players to ever walk this earth, somebody that's looked at as a football god, lowercase g, right? And lowercase g on that god, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, a lot of people looking at him like, no, man, we can't have this. We can't have that. So he's going to get a lot of hate in his direction, right? And if Shedeur continues to ball out, in order for Shedeur to be in a Heisman conversation, I believe they got to win at least 9 games. They got to win at least 9 games for them to be in Heisman conversation, right? And I hope if he do balls out all the way through, that he don't get some hate due to his dad being who he is. That they try to hate on Shedeur because they don't like Deion. And again, I don't like certain things that Deion does. I'm talking about, I don't like the way he left the school. Not that he left, like I said before. Stuff that he was doing after he announced that he was leaving. And I ain't like how certain stuff was going out, how certain stuff I just didn't like how he carried that out at the end when he was leaving. I was fine with him leaving because, I would have left for that bread. But I just didn't like how he handled certain situations upon leaving. But anyway, there's people that are going to look like, hold on now. Look at this. What is this dude doing, man? Even with me not liking how he exited Jackson State, the way he exited Jackson State, I can't root against a black dude who seemed to be standing for good things, trying to get his son in the right position to go to the league, getting Travis Hunter in the right position to do well and go to the league. A black coach. And he got other black coaches around him, particularly from my institution, from my alma mater, Mississippi Valley State University. Brought up Coach Vincent Dancy, got Coach Dancy and some other brothers paid from these other schools, right? So I gotta salute that and respect that, but I don't want to see him fail or fall on his face. It's a black man, black coach, trying to succeed, trying to do his thing. He got young son, two young sons, Shiloh playing there too, playing corner. So, yeah, man, trying to do the best for his son and for other people around him. You got to respect and salute that. You know what I mean? Got to. But, yeah, he's disrupting the old guard, and the old guard don't like it. And they want Deion to pay. They want him to pay for that. So he going to keep getting hate and the snarky comments from everywhere he goes, from around every corner. But he is public enemy number 1. The old guard is pissed because now they see that Deion can be able to get some quality players without having to send nobody to the draft, just off who he is, man. Like, he cashing in off his cachet and clout with the players. And even him being a former coach, what's the young brother name, man? I gotta look at Colorado stats, man. What's the young brother name? Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards, he used to coach Dylan Edwards when Dylan Edwards was a young boy in Texas, right? So that is the thing that Dylan Edwards said, I'm going over here with Prime. He in Colorado, let me come on over there with him. Off of that, man. So, yeah, man. Deion going to continue to disrupt the college football atmosphere, and he's going to continue to get a lot of snarky comments and all of that. I heard Lee Corso said some stuff about Deion. And I think Lee Corso went to Florida State, I believe. Right? And was like a corner, too. So, you see what's going on here. You see Deion is, Every day act like they were happy that Deion was in college football because he left that black college and they say he should have never been down there with y'all. Anyway, he too good to be there with y'all. Hey, go ahead, congrats and move up, man. They black people ungrateful. They black people ungrateful for you. Then when you come up to their ranks, oh, hell no, they fine until you're pulling from their pool, until you serve as competition for them. Now it's, oh, wait a minute now. This Deion guy, hey, he's doing too much, man. He's doing a lot of talking, man. He's just a hype machine, man. And this guy, he's something else, man. He thinks he's better than what he is. Oh, my God, they think they can do this. All of that, man. You see what happens, man? Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.